Esteemed panelists, SheTrades participants, specially invited guests, good morning. I am Maria Padilla Benjamin, Acting General Manager, Operations Expo TT, and it is my pleasure to be the moderator for today's networking event and self-assessment tool launch. This event is a joint effort of the Ministry of Trade and Industry, the International Trade Center, and Expo TT Limited. Launched in 2020, the Trinidad and Tobago SheTrades Hub aims at achieving gender equality, continuous partnerships, and economic growth. In concert with this overall objective, today's event focuses on accessing financing, sustainability, and digitalization, as well as introducing the ITC's new competitiveness self-assessment tool. As an added advantage, you will have the opportunity to interact later in the program with our presenters within our breakout sessions. Be sure to pay special attention to the presentations, as 3 diligent participants will win payments valued at $1,000 each towards their company's presence on an e-commerce platform of choice. To improve the quality of the event, we are reminding participants to ensure that your mics are placed on mute and your videos disengaged. If you have any questions, feel free to place them in the chat box addressed to everyone. To formally welcome you to today's proceedings, I invite General Manager Client Services, Expo TT, Mr. Dhanraj Hariprasad, to offer welcome remarks.
Thank you very much, Maria. Good morning, all, and welcome to this morning's webinar on digitalization and sustainability, TNT women-owned businesses charting the course of post-COVID-19 recovery. I wish to acknowledge our esteemed panelists, colleagues from the International Trade Center, and the Ministry of Trade and Industry, who we have been working closely with to put this session together. We have an action-packed morning for you today. We have a launch of the SheTrades Competitiveness Self-Assessment Tool in Trinidad and Tobago, and we at Expo TT know the importance of conducting assessments. It assists us and our clients in identifying the areas to be improved to be more export ready and in tracking the progress made. We have some experience with ITC's benchmarking tool, which has been excellent and helped us greatly in improving our organization's performance and service delivery to our clients. So we trust that it will be able to do the same for you. Panel discussions on a number of important topics, such as resilience and innovation, financing for female entrepreneurs, and digital transformation. There are also breakout sessions where you have the opportunity to have discussions with your peers on these important topics. We look forward to the outcomes of these discussions, and in particular, ideas which can feed into Trinidad and Tobago's own SheTrades Hub. It is widely recognized that supporting women-owned small and medium enterprises is crucial for generating economic growth and contributing to poverty reduction. The SheTrades initiative provides women entrepreneurs around the world with a unique network and platform to connect to international markets. It has an ambitious goal to connect 3 million to market by 2021, and we at Expo TT and the Ministry of Trade and Industry are happy to contribute towards this goal. We ask that you take the time to visit the SheTrades platform to start benefiting from the tools and resources available, including 1-hour virtual sessions like global value chains, packaging and labeling for exports, market research, and building an export plan. Trinidad and Tobago will be participating in the SheTrades Global Dubai, where 17 export-ready firms have been selected to exhibit virtually. This is an excellent opportunity for them to get international exposure and interact with potential buyers on this platform. There are many benefits to be gained from registering and being active on the platform. The greatest benefit of all, however, is being part of this large and vibrant network of powerful women entrepreneurs who support each other. You are never alone in the challenges you face, and you always have the support you need. I wish to thank you again for the opportunity to share these brief remarks. I would like to welcome you once again to this morning's webinar. I know that it will be time well spent, and for those of you who are not currently on the SheTrades platform, we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan Raj. Coming at this time to launch in Trinidad and Tobago, ITC's SheTrades competitive self-assessment tool is Mr. Juan Oyus, Advisor, Sustainable and Inclusive Value Chains International Trade Center. Let's make welcome Juan.
Dear Maria, thank you very much for the introduction. I'm trying to turn on my camera, but it's, it's not working, my camera, I don't know. Okay, anyway, I will be presenting immediately let me share my screen, and then I can turn on the camera later. So let me share with all of you. Okay, Maria, can you see my screen on the presentation?
Yes, it is up.
Perfect. So later I will solve the problem with the camera. So thank you very much again, Maria, for the introduction, and happy to be here. Thank you, Nidian and team, for inviting me to present the competitiveness self-assessment tool of the SheTrades in this event. So let me start with explaining in a nutshell what is the virtual learning space. A virtual learning space we developed it a few years ago, and then with the pandemic was enhanced because everybody was needing the training and capacity buildings online. So in a nutshell is comprised by the self-assessment tool that is the one that I presented today, plus more than 100 webinars in different languages, especially French, English, Spanish, some Arabic. Then we have the virtual learning space that I will, that is comprising 52 short modules on different export readiness topics. Then the online courses offered by the ITC SME Trade Academy, but it's inside our virtual learning space. And then we have the face-to-face coaching. We will start implementing a coaching program soon online, and then the B2Bs, as Dubai was mentioned earlier. So in a nutshell, what is competitiveness for SheTrades? Competitiveness is based on certain 4 competencies, that is strategic competence, marketing and sales, production, and resource management competence. Don't worry, you will receive this presentation, so you will have time later to get deeper on this one. In this case, each competence is divided in different capabilities. So for example, if you go and look at the bottom left, that is the production competence. To be competitive in terms of production, I need to attribute the requirements, the quality of the requirements, meet quantity requirements, cost requirements, time of delivery requirements. At the end, competitiveness is a very complex system where you need not only to be ready in production or in packaging or in logistics, but many other things. And that's the intention of this tool, that to bring an awareness of women-owned businesses or SMEs in general, what is their level of competitiveness in different aspects, identify their gaps. So for example, we developed this competitiveness map where you can, is interactive, so you can click in any one of the capabilities, and the capability immediately will tell you which are the micro foundations or activities that you need to develop in this case. For example, in this case, that is meet quality requirements. So you need to develop quality standards, design and implement quality control process and procedure, demonstrate conformity, that means standards, handling production under good environmental practices and good labor practices. So, but again, this is available in the tool. You can download it anytime and start exploring your special gaps and how you close it. So the self-assessment tool is just an instrument designed to support micro, small, and medium-sized businesses in their quest for growth and competitiveness. And the purpose is to help these companies, knowing the extent of their competitiveness knowledge and skills, identifying unknown strengths and weaknesses, and to improve upon them without a need of a performer appraiser. So that means you can do it by yourself. To go there, you just register in SheTrades, and then you click in virtual learning, virtual learning space. It will take you to this page. Then you see, you click in let's go. And then this is the virtual learning space, the SheTrades virtual learning space. And then as you can see here on the left, You see content type, so you can choose the self-assessment or the webinars or the 1-hour courses, the 2-week courses, certificate programs. As you can see, we have them in English, French, Spanish, and then you click. Once you click in self-assessment, that brings you to this screen. And the screen, you can see, is explaining what is the tool, how does it work, the 4 competencies as well, how it will help your company and your business. And then, as you can see in the bottom, you can download these 2 documents, the interactive map that I just showed you, and the competitiveness guide. That is, it will be presented at the end of this presentation. And then, so you click in self-assessment, and the system takes you to this screen where you find instructions, and then you identify, you click SheTrades Trinidad and Tobago Hub. If you are beneficiary of each project, because in this way we will collect all information from Trinidad and Tobago companies to make a more accurate assessment of their gaps. And then this is for all partners and ITC to prepare a better response in terms of your gaps. So it's very simple. You fill in the company information. It's a very short survey in terms of your profile, because we want this profile, and then you start answering the questions. Don't be afraid if you don't understand certain questions. For certain people who have some management background, probably questions would be very simple. So for those who they don't have a management background, is probably more complicated, but don't worry, because anytime you can see show more. And then, for example, if one of the questions is generation, evaluation, and filtering of business ideas, I don't know what does it mean. And then you just click in show more, and then this is the explanation. What is this question? And then you, of course, you grade your knowledge and skills based on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let me just go back a little bit just to clarify this one. And then if one is known, you have no knowledge or no skills on that topic, and the second one is basic, the third one is proficient, 4 is advanced, and 5th is expert. For certain questions that are, for example, in production of goods, and then you are in services, you just answer doesn't apply. So it fits every company, every SME. The beautiful part, so you can just start answering questions. Then always you will identify what is the where you are. I mean the marketing and sales competences, and then I still finish with the 27%, 28%. So you have a glimpse what is happening. If for you the survey is too long, don't worry. You are tired and need a coffee break, so leave. And then you can come back later, and then once you are back, you can start again with continue my last assessment. Now, this is the beautiful part of this tool. This is the results that women-owned business or a small business corporation will get. So as you can see, on the left side, you have the competencies and capabilities. And then, for example, if you click in the first one, that is, you can see the bars are showing the level of readiness of your company per capability. And then you can see some in orange, some in green, some in red. So that means if you are in red, you are in the basic level as a beginner. If you are in orange, you are kind of intermediate. So you are not a super expert, but you know how to manage many things of the topic. And then if you are in green, you are an expert. So probably you don't need a lot to reinforce this topic. Of course, we can learn all the time about many other things all the time. And then the beautiful part of this tool is not having the self-assessment, but per capability. If you see, I highlight the first one, that is design a business strategy. And then you can see in green, see recommendations. So if you click in see recommendations, you will find, well, before you see this answer, this square in yellow is showing you what is the mean being an intermediate level. And then again, the beautiful part is that you can see all the SheTrades courses that you can take to close these specific gaps. So of course, if you are in red, you will find a lot of options. But if you are in green, probably you won't find a lot of options. But in these specific results are a super customized suggestion to your company, to you, to take those online courses, being webinars, short online courses, long online courses, to close the gap of this specific capability. And then you can download in PDF your program, your results, so you can keep them in your computer. And anytime that you want to explore a certain capability, you just click in the PDF with the link that we provide, and it takes you to the online course that we are offering. Remember, all these courses are always free. It's just the only requirement is to be registered in SheTrades.com. Finally, this is the report that ITC and our partners in Trinidad and Tobago will receive of the people in Trinidad and Tobago, so we can identify exactly which are the gaps of each company, and then to identify what is the best capacity building approach. And then just to finalize, this is the other support document that we are offering. That is the SheTrades Competitiveness Guidebook. Is a book of 124 pages covering strategy, marketing and sales, production, resources. So you can get deeper in the knowledge of each one of them if you want to understand what is behind each capability. So it's very complete. It's very simple to read it, simple to use it. Each capability, each activity inside the capability is described here. We have exercises, we have samples, so it's very, very easy to use. And then finally, we have a lot of additional resources where people can use to get deeper in each topic. Thank you very much, Maria, and back to you. Let me stop sharing. And of course, we will have time later for questions and answers. Thank you.
Thank you, Juan. There's definitely a lot there for us to delve into and get to understand and utilize a bit more. Moving into our panel discussion, which was crafted after much deliberation on topics and selection of distinguished panelists before you today. We are honored to introduce you to, again, Mr. Juan Hoyos, Advisor Sustainable and Inclusive Value Chains at the International Trade Center, who will be discussing resilience and innovation for the coconut industry development for the Caribbean. Mr. Juan Hoyos has a background in strategy and supply, as well as value chain developments. He has successfully supported the strengthening of the international competitiveness of SMEs in Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean, Asia, and South Pacific Islands. He holds Masters in Business Administration and International Business, and currently is a researcher in SME sustainability competencies. Mr. William Castro, Program Officer, Division of Country Programs, International Trade Center, who will be addressing digitalization to pave the way for sustainable recovery. William joined the ITC in 2018 to implement and coordinate projects in the Caribbean, including Alliances for Action programs, promoting private and public sector partnerships for agribusiness and sustainable food systems, working with smallholder producer associations, MSMEs, agri-entrepreneurs, and support institutions. He holds a degree in economics and a master's degree in international economic policies from the Paris School of International Affairs. Ms. Loli Gaitan, Program Officer of the Digital Networks and Social Society Department, International Telecommunication Unit, United Nations, who will share on digital transformation, literacy, and sustainability, and its importance for female entrepreneurs through the lens of the ITU. Loli coordinates the initiative Equals, the global partnership to bridge the gender digital divide, which has over 100 partners. Loli specializes in technical assistance to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals with a focus on the Sustainable Development Goal 5, gender equality. Prior to joining ITU, Loli worked with the International Trade Center's flagship initiative for women's economic empowerment, SheTrades. She holds a PhD in international law and economics. And finally, Ms. Sophia Stone, Director Three Stone Limited, who will focus on alternative avenues towards financing for female entrepreneurs. Sophia Sohn is a serial entrepreneur who has been involved in ventures from manufacturing to retail. She's the founder of internationally acclaimed herbal company Caribbean Cure and is currently leading the National Secondary School Entrepreneurship Competition, a project in digital entrepreneurship training for over 3,000 youth in secondary schools. Sophia is a director for Three Stone Research and Consulting and currently focuses on access to credit solutions for small businesses in the Caribbean and has worked with hundreds of female entrepreneurs looking to scale their business. Sophia is also Trinidad and Tobago's semi-final representative at the SheTrades Global Hackathon, which aims to find innovative technology-based solutions to accelerate the transition to an inclusive, green, and sustainable future. Welcome, esteemed panelists. We will now move into the questions. My first question is to Juan. Juan, your question focuses on the role of digitalization in the post-COVID-19 recovery. What has been your experience with women of business on digitalization amidst the pandemic? Specifically, what were the main challenges faced and how would you address them?
Thank you, Maria. Thank you very much. Can you see my screen right now?
Yes, I can.
Let me double check that the sound is working, that I'm sharing the, maybe Garvin, because I don't know if, is the sound on? No.
I have your video prepared, Juan, so I can share it from my side.
Can you share it, Garvin?
Yes.
I'm stopped
so you can
sharing,
stop
and
sharing.
then
Yes, that's a problem.
you can help me there because
Sure.
I couldn't manage. I don't know. Yesterday we did the round, the try round, and worked well, and now my camera is not working. And then, but it's good that Garvin have it. I will start answering the question with this video first. Garvin, can you play it? Okay, perfect.
তরঙ্গের প্রতিটা পণ্যই তৈরি হয় নারীর হাতে। এই নারীরা কেউ সুবিধাবঞ্চিত, কেউ বা সামাজিকভাবে নিপীড়িত। কিন্তু তরঙ্গের কারখানায় পা রাখা মাত্রই তারা একজন হয়ে যান স্বপ্নের কারিগর। আমি কোহিনুর ইয়াসমিন, আমি তরঙ্গের প্রধান নির্বাহী। আমরা যে হস্তশিল্প পণ্যগুলো উৎপাদন করছি, প্রতিটা পণ্যই প্রাকৃতিক এবং কারখানাটাও পরিবেশ বান্ধব। যেই এলাকা থেকে আমরা পণ্যগুলো উৎপাদন করি, সেই এলাকায় নারীর দক্ষতা, কাঁচামাল এবং কাজের সুযোগের উপর ভিত্তি করে আমরা পণ্যগুলো সোর্সিং করি। প্রতিটি পণ্যকেই কঠিন মান নিয়ন্ত্রণ প্রক্রিয়ার মধ্য দিয়ে যেতে হয়। আর ওয়ার্ল্ড ফেয়ার ট্রেডের সিল তো থাকেই। হ্যারোডস, হোয়াইট কোম্পানি, ভিএনএ মিউজিয়ামের মতো আন্তর্জাতিক ব্র্যান্ডগুলো তাই আমাদের পণ্য কিনে নেয়। ৬,০০০ পিস। আমরা কি অর্ডারটা নিব না ছেড়ে দিব? কিন্তু আমরা দিতে পারবো সময় মতো? মেয়েরে আবার স্কুলে দিছো?
আপা একা একা কতদিন পাল্টানি?
সহযোগিতা করবো পড়ার জন্য। কালকে তুমি মেয়েরে পাঠাই দিও। আমি এই মেয়েদের সুখ দুঃখ, হাসি কান্না সব কিছুরই অংশীদার। ওদের কাছেও তরঙ্গ কিন্তু পরিবারেরই মতন। আমার চাওয়া একটাই, এই পরিবারের সবার ভবিষ্যৎ হোক উজ্জ্বল। তাই এই করোনার লকডাউনের সময় আমি খুব দুশ্চিন্তায় ছিলাম। একটার পর একটা অর্ডার ক্যান্সেল হচ্ছিল। কাজ নাই, ফোন দিচ্ছে আমাকে যে আপা কি করব, আমার স্বামীরও কাজ নাই, আমার তো আপনাদেরও কাজ নাই। তখন আমরা যেটা করছি যে ঘরে বসে বানাও, তারপরে খাবারের ব্যবস্থা করছি। কারণ কি করব, এই দিনগুলো সত্যি এত কঠিন ছিল, আমি আমার টিমকে বুঝতে দেই নাই। কারণ আমি যদি আপসেট হয়ে পড়ি, ওরাও আপসেট হয়ে পড়বে। মানে এটা ভাষায় প্রকাশ করা যায়। ঠিক এমন সময় SheTrades তাদের সাহায্যের পরিধি আরো বাড়িয়ে দিল।
I'm going to use that brush tool. It's going to
করোনাকালের পৃথিবীতে ব্যবসার ধরন কিভাবে পাল্টাচ্ছে, সংকটকালীন বাজারে নতুন ক্রেতাদের খুঁজে বের করে কিভাবে তাদের সাথে যোগাযোগ স্থাপন করা যায়, এসব ব্যাপারে প্রশিক্ষণও দিল SheTrades। আমরা বুঝতে পারলাম সুন্দর করে লেখা একটি ইমেল কিংবা একটি আকর্ষণীয় লুকবুক কতটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। মহামারীর পূর্বেও SheTrades-এর সহায়তায় আমরা নিউ ইয়র্ক নাওয়ে ফিজিক্যালি অংশগ্রহণ করেছিলাম। এই তো সেদিনই আমরা আমাদের প্রথম ভার্চুয়াল মেলায় অংশগ্রহণ করলাম, নিউ ইয়র্ক নাও ভার্চুয়াল শো। এটাও SheTrades-এর কল্যাণে। এর পরপরই আমাদের অনেক অর্ডার আসা শুরু করলো, আমরাও আবার কারখানা পুরো দমে চালু করতে পারলাম। আমরা যে অর্ডার পাচ্ছি সেই অর্ডার আমরা একসাথে সামলাইতে পারবো। হাল কিন্তু আমরা কখনো ছাড়বো না। তরঙ্গের যাত্রা তো কেবল শুরু। দেখবেন একদিন এই মেয়েরা বাংলাদেশের জন্য অনেক বড় সম্মান বয়ে আনবে।
স্কুলে তাইছো? ক্লাস কিরম হইছে?
ভালো হইছে।
স্যাররা কিরম পড়াইছে?
ভালো।
Great. So Maria, why I wanted to present this video is because it's the answer of your question, because we are talking about pandemic, we are talking about digitalization, we are talking about sustainability. There are the three things, and then look at what is beautiful is like, look at these women. They don't have a lot of resources. They are not living in rich cities, in rich apartments, in rich venues. They are poor people who just manage to move from the current way of doing their work to the new way of doing work. And you can see now they are selling in international fairs, etc. So these are our experience. I mean, this of course is a beautiful experience. Not everybody managed to do it. So at the end is the mindset of resilience for everybody, that we need to think our businesses in different ways and adapt it, because if not, we won't perform well in the future. In summary, which are the challenges? ICT knowledge, skills, or experience. There is still COVID forced us, but this is still a technology phobia. Some people still don't want to get into technology to sell and to buy and to trade through internet. Of course, internet infrastructure sometimes or we don't have the networks, or is very expensive. Cybersecurity is another topic that is always a challenge. And of course, owner innovativeness. But I think this is more Lolly's work. At the end, my recommendation is we need to move, we need to innovate in our businesses. We don't be afraid of technology, and just launch your ideas and get good help. And later in the breakout rooms, we will talk as well, and when we come back, of the help that women-owned businesses can receive to improve their technology approach. Thank you very much, Maria.
Thank you, Juan. Such a touching video of the reality that we are currently facing, but we are encouraged by the fact that training was available and they were able to pivot and now be more successful and sustainable in their business. My next question is posed at William. William, prior to the global pandemic, small islands and developing states were facing important challenges on internationalization. The pandemic has further exacerbated these challenges. What has been your experience with the ITC Coconut project? Can you share with us the major issues encountered by your beneficiaries and what lessons were learned in terms of building resilience to these external shocks?
Thank you very much, Maria, and good morning to all. Greetings to our colleagues in Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you very much for the question, and of course, thanks also to the Export TT, the Ministry of Trade, and our team of SheTrades here in ITC. As you mentioned at the beginning, Maria, I work with the Coconuts project in ITC, which basically includes 12 Caribbean countries, including Trinidad and Tobago. And definitely it was very hard on us, both for as implementing partners, agencies, and also for our beneficiaries, which are mainly smallholder coconut farmers, small processors, and then of course the support institutions. So what we do here, we work with what we call the Alliances for Action approach, which is a bottom-up partnership approach that results in systemic change investment for resilience, innovation, and sustainability. And of course, sometimes when people hear the word innovation, they are thinking of something very, very complex, right? Something about these digital tools, etc. But innovation is just a process of introducing something new, right? That's the definition of innovation, to introduce something new for better efficiency, for better transparency, etc. So what happened with COVID, it forced us to be innovative. Even for us, you know, SPORT-TT and the ministry, we need to deliver services for our constituencies, for our beneficiaries. So it also forced us to this, virtual conferences, etc. But of course, when you're a farmer, when you're a processor, it's more difficult for you because there is no virtual way to produce a coconut, definitely. So what do we do? And this has been always in the center of our approach. It's all about diversification, both at the market level, producing level, and in the areas of value addition. So even though we're working with coconuts, we're always discussing about the introduction of other crops, of other products that help us to be more resilient to these external shocks as COVID, for example. So what happened to us with our farmers is like, because some of them are producing coconuts, but they're also producing other fruits and vegetables that helps them to be more resilient in terms of food security and also sale with the local markets. When COVID came, the first thing is that they had more, let's say, food for their family. They were more food resilient because they were not only producing coconuts, but they were introducing climate smart agriculture to produce in a way that is also resilient for hurricanes and floodings from our regions and even droughts. So introducing a system that helps the farmers to be more resilient and diversified for their income is one of the first solutions. The second, of course, is that COVID, again, forced most of us to become virtual. But what happened in our region in the Caribbean, most of the processors, they are very small and they do not have the support system to help them reach this virtuality. So the first thing we do when we wanted to support a company, either in Trinidad and Tobago or even in a smaller Caribbean island, let's say Grenada, company ABC, how can we help company ABC? The first thing I do is Google it. And when I Google company ABC, I don't see anything, right? So one of our biggest focus now during the pandemic was to help these small companies, small entrepreneurs to be there in the online spectrum, because some of us we just settle ourselves with creating a Facebook page, but when you're talking about connecting to real buyers, to serious buyers, you really need to be more professional and really need to know how to sell yourself and also sell the story and also sell about the resilience of your company and then how sustainable you are, because there is also a big shift for inclusive and sustainable business. Nowadays, most of the buyers we're discussing about, they're talking about certification. These are ethical certifications such as fair trade, organic, etc. So how can we help our MSMEs to be unique, to have a unique selling proposition to our international buyers? How can we help them to be more resilient to local and regional shocks? It's not only about linking a small processor to, I don't know, to international buyer, but it's also helping them to sell other products to the local market and also look at the regional value chain itself. So in the Caribbean, in coconuts, there we have this regional, there's a perfect regional value chain where we there are many value-added products that are being produced, for example, in Trinidad and Tobago, but mainly the inputs are coming from Guyana, for example, or from the Dominican Republic. So we are also encouraging these buyer and inputs connections for the value chain to become more efficient. And it was not only COVID that we are facing. For example, in the Caribbean, San Vincent was also faced with a hurricane. Belize was also faced with fires, and the whole Caribbean with floodings and even droughts. So the two opposites. So we need to promote systems that are climate smart, that really help us to help the farmers and then processors to become more resilient, and that are able to face these important challenges. So it's all about, again, coconuts. There are so many flower processors that produce only, for example, coconut oil. But when they use the coconut oil, they throw away the small amount of water that is in them. But you can really make businesses out of it. So it's all about looking at the whole nut, how to use the husk, even to produce energy and to become also more environmental friendly, and then also have more energy efficiency. So that's why we're also promoting training and also trying sharing experiences with the Asian countries, with the Philippines, Thailand, etc. So we're bringing all this knowledge to the Caribbean through a series of technical sessions that we are organizing to help use the whole nut and diversify the products, and to have also more local value addition in our countries. So innovation, let's not complicate ourselves with very complicated technologies. It's all about introducing new ideas to become more efficient, doing it bit by bit, even that is diversifying our value-added products, or at the farming level to introduce new products, fruits and vegetables that can help us for our food security, but also to diversify our income, even at the local market or the regional market as well. So I'm looking forward to hearing the views of our colleagues in the panel discussions. So back to you, Maria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, William, for emphasizing as well the need for us to just think outside the box, challenge every assumption that we have been going with prior to COVID, because we have faced challenges before COVID, but COVID presents unique challenges that requires us to really test the assumptions upon which things are based now. We move to Loli at this time. Loli, my question to you is, the COVID-19 pandemic has further highlighted the importance of digital processes and connectivity. While we know that access to technology and digital devices is not gender neutral, adaptability and the capacity to quickly pivot to digital processes and electronic commerce platforms were among the key success factors that allowed women entrepreneurs to weather the COVID-19 crisis. To address the constraints facing women in terms of digitalization, what were the initiatives undertaken by the ITU in bridging the gender digital divide and enhancing digital transformation among women entrepreneurs?
Thank you so much, Maria, and welcome to everyone. It is a real pleasure to be here with you today and share some thoughts on how we are working to accelerate this digitalization for women entrepreneurs. So I think with COVID has shown that how critical access to digital services is for continued business activities. I'm sure my colleagues from ITC that are here coincide with me that almost 90% of women-led companies have been hit and are still negatively impacted by the COVID. But it's also some positive some positive note that some women entrepreneurs in specific sectors as well, they could navigate better because they were better prepared for this kind of digital impact, if you want, for their businesses. So we still have a long way to go after the COVID and this post-pandemic. But at ITU, the International Telecommunication Union, maybe for those of you that are not aware of this agency, is the UN agency that works for the information, communication, and technology of United Nations. And we have been designing and implementing different efforts and activities especially after the COVID pandemic for women entrepreneurs. I mean, the first one, and maybe the one that you mentioned before, Maria, is equals. So to close the gender digital divide, we need to work together. Equals was created 4 years ago by ITU, but also the International Trade Center is a co-founder of this initiative. UN Women, UN University, and GSMA, which is the Association of Mobile Operators at the global level. So these 5 organizations came together and really put a structure on how we can move the needle in digitalize and make digital skills and accessibility of ICTs closer, not only to women entrepreneurs, but women in general, and also girls and young women, which are the ones that can help us to make this digital world sustainable in the future. So under this specific initiative, we have each year the Equals in Tech Awards, and I'm going to tell a story here about one of our winners of the Equals in Tech Awards. So this lady is called Silvina Moschini. In 2019, just before COVID, she was the winner of one of the awards during the Equals in Tech. And right after COVID, 1 year after, she's from Argentina, and she has a platform that is called She Works. And I invite you, all of you that are today in this event, to go and check She Works platform that connect remote talent with employment opportunities. So this lady, Silvina, she became the first pink unicorn in the Americas and Caribbean region during COVID. So this is just an example on how these companies or women entrepreneurs that were especially in the tech sector, in the digital sector, working on a specific products, they really had a positive impact out of these difficult moments of COVID. So this is just an example on how after she became the winner of Equals in Tech, 1 year after she was the first company in Latin America and the Caribbean to be a pink unicorn. Equals has nowadays over 100 members, and we work there are 2 main areas in where we are working for women entrepreneurs. One is providing digital skills, and the other one is provide the opportunities for networking. As Equals was created within the International Trade Center, just recently in September of this year, we make a pledge, ITC, ITU, also with UN Women, we pledged a collective commitment on behalf of Equals, and is to increase the visibility, business and digital skills, the mentoring and networking opportunities for 10,000 women leaders and entrepreneurs in the technology sector by 2026. As part of this collective commitment that we made in September, there are 2 main initiatives or activities that happened this year. And one of these activities is the SheTrades Global Hackathon that is being done in a collaborative mode with ITC and ITU. And actually, I'm happy to know that one of the panelists today is one of the semifinalists of this hackathon. And thanks to this hackathon, we were trying to kind of make the linkages of women entrepreneurship, technology, and green economy. So I'm sure my colleague or the semifinalist of this hackathon from Trinidad and Tobago will mention it more about that in some minutes. But this is one of the activities we are supporting. Another one is an online course on management skills for women entrepreneurs in technology. This course is also delivered in collaboration with ITU, ITC, and UN Women. We just finished the first cohort of 5 weeks training with webinars, live webinars, and with content that is self-paced. And we have 230 women entrepreneurs from all over the world, and representing 80 countries. So this is another example. I really hope that for the next edition of this specific course, I can share the information with the colleagues of Trinidad and Tobago And we can have many of you joining this course. Next year, we will start again in January. So at the end of January, so we hope to see you also there. But as well, there are other type of digital skills that we've been providing to women entrepreneurs in specific countries. One of these examples is happening in Ethiopia, Burundi, and Haiti. So here we are working with women entrepreneurs to provide specific digital skills for their supply chain or for their sectors of economy. Just to give you an example, in Haiti, we are working with women entrepreneurs in the textiles and apparel sector, and we are providing digital skills that are sectorial. So we call sectorial to those that are needed in a specific economic sector. In the case of Burundi, for example, we are working with women entrepreneurs in the coffee sector and the tea sector. So the digital skills required for their continuity of their business, some might be the basic ones, but others might be different ones that are more tailored and specific for them to navigate this new digital world. And last but not least, when you ask me about our work, is not only with the communities, Maria, as ITU, we are a member state-driven organization. So we are closely working with the governments. Our main constituencies are the ministries of ICTs. So we also work in this specific area to mainstream gender in the different digital policies and regulations. And why this? Because we really need to create this kind of conducive ecosystem that can provide women workers, but also women entrepreneurs with greater access to markets, knowledge, and opportunities. So I think I will stop here, Maria. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Luli. It's so great to know that our female entrepreneurs are also able to access some of those initiatives that you've spoken about today. Thank you so very much. Sophia, access to finance is one of the other key ingredients in supporting women entrepreneurs in rebuilding their businesses. Term Finance has launched new financial products with unsecured lending options. How can this initiative support women entrepreneurs' recovery? What kind of support would a company like yours need in order to scale your business model to reach an increased number of female entrepreneurs?
Thank you so much, Maria, and thank you for having me on this panel. It was so lovely to hear from Lolly as we're getting involved in the hackathon. I'm really pleased to be here today and share with you a little bit about Term Finance SME-TT. So my journey actually started as an entrepreneur, making teas in my kitchen, and eventually I went from making my little herbal teas with moringa and ginger and soursop leaves and all kinds of stuff like that to exporting in Japan and Europe and North America. And along that journey, I faced so many challenges in accessing finance, not just accessing finance, but accessing finance in a quick, efficient, and respectful way. So when a lot of entrepreneurs here who are on this call would probably know that sometimes it's not just about accessing finance. You know, I'm sure everyone could access finance through a bank in 6 months, but sometimes you need that money quickly, you need it accessed easily, you need it sent to your account so you can fill an order. And those stresses are things that I really did not enjoy. I just like to make my teas, my product. I like my customers. I didn't really want to be dealing with this application and send in this collateral. What is your collateral? Put your name, ask my husband for this. That was a big headache to me. And this is a huge issue that entrepreneurs in Trinidad and Tobago face. So especially female entrepreneurs. So why I ended up working so passionately with Term Finance SME-TT is we are doing something very different. And I think this is why we've ended up in the hackathon. We are not a bank. What you get with us is a very quick and efficient and respectful process that goes beyond just lending. So when you come to Term Finance SME-TT, what we offer is unsecured loans. So there's no collateral needed. That lets us get through the application process much, much faster. So actually you can go on our website and you can fill in the application in under 5 minutes. Everything is online. You submit your documents online, and you're able actually to see, how much money you need, what that's going to translate to. We're very transparent. We believe in responsible lending. So what that translates to is, what are my monthly payments going to look like? What is the interest that I'm going to be paying on this loan? If I want to go up a little, 10,000, if I want to go down, how does that change? So we have a calculator that you can actually see on our website, which, forgive me because I'm what they call a geriatric millennial. And if I mess up this technological switch, please forgive me. I'm going to try to share my screen now just to see if I can show you the website. And let's see if it works. I can are you seeing my website there okay? Yeah.
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect. So this is the calculator. And what I love about what we're offering here is sometimes you may not need 50,000. Maybe you just need 10,000, and we actually offer micro entrepreneur loans at 10,000 TT, which is a smaller amount. And you can put in that 10,000, you can put it over 24 months, you could put it over 5 months, you could see all the different options, and you're going to see here what your total in interest and fees is going to be, as well as what your monthly payments are going to be. And you can change this as you see fit. You can go up and down, and this is really helpful. So after you've done that, you're able to just click on the Apply Now button, and you're able to go through the application process very, very quickly. I would say in under 5 minutes. You'll hear back from us within a day. And then from then we'll go on, and a lot of the requirements are very basic. Normally we go through a quick PowerPoint on helping people understand, whether it's with us or whether it's a bank, what you really need to be credit worthy, or what you need to get a yes from a bank, or to get yes to access to financing outside of things like grants. And I will just go through it quickly because I think it's very helpful for somebody like me who access to finance, all of this kind of stuff. Before I went through this entrepreneurial journey, it just did not resonate with me. Talking to customers, coming up with some marketing, yes, but finance, this seemed like a foreign subject, but it's actually such an important thing to understand as a female entrepreneur, to empower yourself to have those conversations moving forward as you grow your business. So I'll just go through them briefly. Number one, have a working business model. At Term Finance, now not everybody is going to look at this. It's important for me to tell you that. But at Term Finance, we actually focus on your business model. So do you have a functioning business model? Do you have a great idea? Do you have any cash flow? These are the things we look at. We don't look at how much the house that your husband's cousin owns. No, we look at your business model. What have you been able to come up with? Number two, establish your debt service credit ratio, right? Do your debt service capacity ratio, sorry. And generally it's 2 to 1. So that means how much money is coming in. Are you able to service your loan comfortably? Are you going to be put in a worse position if you take out a loan? Sometimes it's easy to be tempted by easy money through a loan, but you have to make sure that it makes sense for your business. And then we have to look at things like having a good payment history. Do you service your other debts? Have you been able to keep your payments on time and up to date? There's something called a TransUnion report, which is something everybody has. They have a score here in Trinidad and Tobago, and that's an important thing to keep in good standing. And then use the funds appropriately. And this links into the last point, which is have a relationship with your lender. At Term Finance, we go beyond. We actually reach out to our customers. We have conversations with them. We will go through things like your accounts. We will go through things like we've visited the businesses before. We take a keen interest because really at the core of our business model, your success really is our success. And one of the things, just coming back to your question, Maria, I think the way in which we are supporting female entrepreneurs, or how we're making a difference beyond legacy institutions, is we work with AI algorithms. So we work with machine learning. There's no gender bias involved. And in fact, our approval rate is 50%, which is incredible because you would find a lot of women face issues in accessing finance. And we've been able to look at our internal processes to ensure that our lending practices are very fair towards women and support female entrepreneurs, especially, and you would see that coming through. We have incredible statistics. We've had over $10 million in loans applied for, and we've been able to touch so many incredible entrepreneurs, micro entrepreneurs, generally female micro entrepreneurs who are doing incredible things and who generally would be ignored by the traditional lending system. So I think that's the way in which Term Finance SME TT is making a difference. We're efficient. We respect the entrepreneur. We are a collective of entrepreneurs. We know what that experience is like. It's sometimes a little bit different when you're talking to a banker who may not understand orders to fill, shipping issues, logistics, things like that. So I think that's really how we are working hard in Trinidad and Tobago to make a difference and to bridge the gap between access to financing. And I could talk about this for hours, but I don't want to overstep my time limit, Maria. So I'm going to save some of these tips and some of the things that I'd love to share in the breakout session. And I'd like to thank everyone for having me today.
Thank you, Sophia, for sharing your experience. And I celebrate you today for building a business to support other female entrepreneurs so they don't have to go through what you experience in your early days in business. Thank you again to all our panelists for enlightening us on your defined topic areas. At this time, we are preparing to move into the breakout rooms where you will have an opportunity to engage our panelists. Participants, on your registration form, you would have indicated your topic of interest. So please join in as I establish now which rooms, which facilitators, would be in the different rooms. In room 1, we will have William, who will deal with resilience and innovation, coconut industry development for the Caribbean. Room 2, Juan Hoyos, digitalization to pave the way for sustainable recovery. Room 3, digital transformation, literacy and sustainability with Loli. And lastly, room 4 with Sophia on financing for female entrepreneurs. Some of you would have Welcome back, everyone. For our benefit, each speaker will summarize highlights from their sessions in room order. I now welcome William.
Thank you very much, Maria. We're still on fire in our room, so I'm sure all of our participants want to many things to say. But I think the phrase that I found very useful was solution come from people, basically. So the importance of networking, the importance of having your own network of support as well. It's very important to also help within your company and then also find these innovations and tools, asking friends for contacts, asking for solutions, etc. We were just discussing about the issue of digital payments, of digital solutions, and of course in the Caribbean we face a lot of high costs for import and export, and there are many solutions online. I was just putting something in the chat, a website in terms of fulfillment services that offers services for other products in other online platforms like eBay, Amazon, etc. I put it there as an innovative solution, and such as this, and such as the one that Sophia was discussing in finance. There are many tools that can help us in terms of marketing, branding, shipment, etc. And then, of course, the tool that Juan also presented in terms of training. We need to train ourselves in terms of the marketing, the commercialization. So ITC have many important tools that are ready to help MSMEs. And here with the SheTrades Hub, with the support of the Ministry of Trade and Export TT, we're really available to support the MSMEs in Trinidad and Tobago. And there were other countries related to coconuts per se that I'm going to put my email in the chat so we can follow up. Because actually there was an innovative company that is doing now, let's say, organic products or like yogurt, etc., that we are also now delivering some training next week on coconut yogurt. So definitely they will be interested in terms of diversification and adding value to their products. So I'm going to put my email in the chat for following up with these entrepreneurs. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, William. That's a wonderful report. We now move forward to room 2 with Juan.
Yep. Thank you, Maria. And thank you, William. I mean, I think at the end, we were discussing very similar topics, all the groups. We concentrate in 2 areas, in handicrafts and what we call services, or what we call business. I forgot it now. Well, it's outsourcing, BPOs.
Yes.
Go ahead, Nidian.
Business promoting business.
Promoting outsourcing. outsourcing. Business process outsourcing. Now we had it so clear all the time, and now suddenly it's like the camera thing. No, so at the end, in these two areas, handicrafts and BPOs or services, they were a challenge. Well, the main challenge initially, of course, is digital. And then one of our conversation, one of our messages, like digitalization is now here and won't come back. I mean, we won't return to, and even I was saying, COVID would be finished, cancer, all the illness around the world, but everybody will keep doing digital means to communicate, to buy, to sell, to chat, to do whatever. So we need to move. It's mandatory that we need to move. So there are ways in the line that William was saying to be trained. So ITC has the SME Trade Academy where we have 3 or 4 courses on digitalization. How do you can digitalize your company? I'm pretty sure Lolly can speak as well about the ITU courses. Remember, all these courses are free. So it's up to the women to start moving on I need to train myself, because nowadays, don't tell me, nobody can say, no, I don't have access to education, because we have Coursera that is free. Inter-American Development Bank has a lot of courses free. We have a lot of courses free. So it's a matter of, okay, it's my turn to take actions on how I close those gaps, and then I can start doing it. But as well, we were talking, and besides that, the SME Trade Academy, for your information as well, ITC has a very amazing tools that William was mentioning, that is the trade map, the sustainability map, the export potential map. And then you can go there, and then even we have a general tool that is Global Help Desk, where you go there, you put your product or service, and then the help is guiding you which are the best countries to export, which are the taxes, etc., etc. So it's just to work on yourself as a company to start closing those gaps. Now, the Antonia was mentioning as well. No, I think it was Roxanne. I was mentioning as well that how she can create these networks in the Caribbean to work together to have smooth value chains. And of course, the first approach was, of course, you need to have a one voice in terms of quality, shipping, packaging, etc. So let's use the same trainings, work together in these networks, and then to have one voice, standardized quality. And then Nidian was mentioning as well, we, with the hubs, we are creating these communities, these synergies among the people. So it's how you use, and even we are creating with the private sector, big corporations who train our women-owned businesses, who coach our women-owned businesses. Even sometimes the big corporation is changing the procurement practice to include more women in their supplier base. So at the end, it's important that the Trinidad and Tobago Hub create that network where everybody knows each other. And then when you can create synergies, and just to finalize my summary, when we organize international B2Bs, like global SheTrades in Dubai, women go there expecting to sell to big corporations. And at the end, you would be so surprised that many of them ended up selling and buying among themselves because they need the services. Because you see, you provide handicrafts, but the other is legal services. The other one is managerial services. The other one is export services. So at the end, they ended up, you don't need big corporations. You need just customers to understand you, that you can create synergies, you can create networks. And this is the hub, what can do to help all the women in Trinidad and Tobago, but connecting to regionally as well. And is learning and connections. Thank you, Maria. Back to you.
Thanks, Juan. Learning and connections. We would definitely move forward with those. Let's move on to Luli, room 3.
Thank you so much, Maria. I think from the group, I would say like 2 main messages. The first one from the questions that I got The first one is that you need to think what's the level of your business in order to think the level of digitalization that you need. And that's why the tool that Juan presented today from SheTrades, I think it's a very good starting point to understand what are your needs in terms of digital. We were speaking a lot as well, and this is the other message about the digital payments. That why customers maybe they don't want to use these digital payments, etc. So this is important, and I think you should, as women entrepreneurs or as any business, you need to check first if your website is serving or your marketplace is serving the needs that you have in your business. If a customer finds a bug, a glitch, something that is not working, they won't rely to make any payment on your system. So I think we discussed I discussed a bit about that, and maybe my last message is more at the policy level. So and I want to thank Export TT because you are doing a great work with ITC as well, not only for the end users, which are you, the women in businesses, but also as a representative of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, because this is we need to make ICTs for ICTs an enabling kind of framework, legal and regulatory framework. And for this to happen, everything on digital payments, and everything on e-commerce, everything on digital economy should be included in these policies that you every day are shaping with other stakeholders. So I think this is another message that we got from our group. Thank you. Thank you, Maria.
Agreed, Luli. Thanks so much. And Sophia, it's time to share your pearls from room 4.
Thank you so much, Maria. So, of course, we didn't have enough time, as tends to be the case in these fantastic conversations. But we basically spoke a little bit about the challenges some of the female entrepreneurs faced during COVID, and repayments and loans and servicing loans, and how sometimes getting into debt traps, and how that's really important to understand. And as female entrepreneurs, we need to take ownership and empower ourselves through understanding what is available and how we can grow our businesses and put ourselves in a better situation rather than just taking an easy solution. So I think a lot of our conversations centered upon what Term Finance is doing, what we offer in SMETT, how you can qualify for a loan, and how our process is very different, how we go beyond just lending. And yeah, a lot of great questions, and I really appreciate everybody's participation and all the passion that was shared today from all of the panelists from ITU and ITC, and of course from Export TD. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sophia. Finance continues to be one of the #1 issues that entrepreneurs face, and I think it's definitely worth exploring some more. Coming at this time to facilitate our interactive quiz segment is Ms. Krista Mendez, Research Strategist at the Ministry of Trade and Industry.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So we are now at the point where I'm sure most of you are anticipating. It's our short interactive quiz session. This session, let me just go over the rules for y'all. The quiz contains 7 multiple choice questions, which you will have 5 minutes to complete. The first 3 persons to answer all questions correctly will win a payment of $1,000 towards their company's presence on a local e-commerce platform of their choice for 1 month. So I am going to invite you all to go into the polls, go down, and you may begin this. Oh, you would start it, right?
Yes, we started. Sorry.
Okay, great. So good luck, ladies.
Maria, in the meantime, I want to share something regarding the questions.
Sure.
The important thing is not here the questions themselves, but is when we are training people, is important, and you will experience, everybody, if you go to the VLS modules, you will experience a lot of questions like this, because when you are very passive in a training, in a webinar, things pass by your head and then don't stay there. But when you are asking these kind of questions, no matter you didn't correct it and didn't answer it correctly, but still you had to think, oh, wait, what was that? And
Yes.
at that moment, the concept will be fixed. And that's why all our trainings in online, always they have plenty of questions. Sometimes they are simple, sometimes they are complicated, because this is the way to fix. And then one thing is transferring knowledge, that is know what, and transferring skills is how to use this what.
Yes.
And these questions is start moving to the transferring of skills.
Yes, I agree with you. I have participated in a number of the ITC SME Academy programs, and it's not about regurgitation. It is about application. So I can endorse what you're saying. Krista, how are we doing?
Well, it seems like the quiz was closed. Yes.
Okay, so the polls are now closed. Thank you so very much, Krista. So you will
So the winners will be contacted within the week to let them know that, you know, they have won. So good luck to all participants, and you all would hear from us within a week.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Krista. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the end of today's event, which will not be complete without hearing from Ms. Nidian Razafi, Associate Expert, SheTrades Initiative, ITC. I now invite Nidian to deliver the closing remarks.
Thanks a lot, Maria. I will be very brief. So I would like to thank our participant again for taking your time to be with us today. Thank you for joining the very first edition of the SheTrades Trinidad and Tobago networking events. This was the first edition, but won't be the last. We hope that you enjoyed today's session, you find it useful, and you leave with useful and valuable takeaway for you and for your business. I also invite you once again to register on SheTrades.com if you haven't registered yet. Please do not forget to take the self-assessment tool. And I also reiterate our gratitude to our distinguished speakers. Thank you for the fruitful discussion that we had today and the wealth of information that you shared with our women entrepreneurs in Trinidad and Tobago. And last but not the least, thank you, dear Maria, for moderating today's session. I also thank Krista, Deborah, Jamal, and Garvin who made today's session possible. So again, I thank you all, and I hope to see you in our next event.
Thank you, Nidian. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you have been a most gracious audience. It was indeed a pleasure to be your moderator today. As you go, remember, stay safe, stay connected, and stay productive. Thank you.